I'm Jim Everett from Los Angeles, but we're here in my hometown of Sydney right now, as you can probably tell by the Opera House. And look at the harbour, just gorgeous. And we climbed the harbour bridge the other day, right up to the top where those flags are. What a magnificent view. And you see that strip of green over there beyond the Opera House. My son David, who's with me today, wants to go over there and get some shots looking back at the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge together. So that's where we're off to. Well, today we're at a really famous icon, the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House. And what we want to learn is, when you're at a place like this, A, how to get something that's really different, and B, as you can see, it's really difficult lighting conditions. I'm probably just an outline here. You can't see anything except what's in the background. So it's really bright and it's really glary, and it's what everybody takes. Let's look at how we can make a stunning shot that is different and really works.
Yeah, it's a nice shot, but everyone seems to take this shot. There's nothing unusual or interesting about it, and the whole shot's filled with light.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Well, why don't we go for a walk up the hill and see if we can find some trees or something to frame it and make a different shot.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Well, what we're looking for then is somewhere that is a little bit different from the ordinary, and with lighting like this and something where you want to have a different view, kind of look for where you've got some framing with the trees or leaves or something like that. Just see if you can see anything as we...
What about that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, you've got the framing there and it kind of blocks up the light a bit so that it doesn't glare so much. Great, yeah, let's work with that.
But when I look out there, I can see a lot of sun. What stops it from becoming a whitewash?
Well, we can do that by setting different settings on the camera. So let's look at what we've got to do. First of all, I'll show you on mine, but it's exactly the same on yours, whether you're using a little one or a big one. So you go to mode, like that, you see that? And then you press that and you change, you see how the P is changing to A for aperture. Now, the aperture is, you'll see there it says F, that I won't go to Y, but that's your aperture. Set that to the largest number you can. In this case it's 22. If we can go any bigger than 22, that makes a really small hole. And the really small hole makes everything in focus from close to far. So that's the key trick there. Now the next thing we've got to do is, when we look at that and we look at the shutter speed, we've got to make sure that it's really fast, because we don't want it to be all blurry. So we have to change the film speed setting. This is like the old film speed, the really fast films. The faster they are, the grainier they are. So probably about ISO 400 is good, and you can do the same on yours. So let's look at when we do that. We're getting 1/100th of a second, and that's pretty good for taking a shot. Anything less, it might be a bit blurry. Okay? So the one other thing that we've got to do is, if your camera, and I think yours does that, you can overexpose it. You press a little button, and on this one, I'll show you how we do that. We press the plus or minus button there, and we go to the plus, I would say +1. That's one, it's usually called EV, but it's just a +1. So now we're ready to shoot. Okay? Now I want you to follow with yours as well. Just look through your camera, and I'll look through mine. Now, I've already had a look at this. Now zoom in a bit and just get the trees around the outside. Get that bit of leaf over the glaring area so it cuts down the glare. And zoom in as much as you can. Go for as much zoom as you can, because what that does, it gives you that kind of effect of the size of the Opera House in the background. It really makes it look bigger. Do a pretty good zoom, because you don't want to crop down too much if you want to do a big print. Use the most of your frame. Yeah, that's good. Go with that. Fantastic. Yep, I think we got it.